We're on the starting soon screen. Okay, and we're live, I think.
Okay.
So we'll do.
Hello, everybody.
Woohoo! Hello.
Hi, guys.
Good evening. Good afternoon. I think.
Almost good. Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon still.
6 o'clock would be evening, right?
Something like that. It's close enough.
Something like that.
Yeah, welcome back to Staying Connected on the
Welcome
Wednesday
back,
session.
guys.
So as you'll know by now, this is the sort of the slightly longer one where we don't have a guest, unless you count me or Daniel as guests, which I don't at this stage.
I know.
But yeah,
Residents.
hope everything's going well. As you can see, Daniel's managed to make his way into the office somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I think if he moves too quick,
it.
he ends up back at home, so he'll have to just sit perfectly still.
Trapped in the space-time continuum.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That's how it happens. Like you know.
Also, I don't know if you noticed, but we've also got Lisa there.
Oh wow!
Can you see that?
I mean, yeah, she's concentrating real hard.
She's in deep concentration.
Whatever that is on her screen. Hopefully something appropriate. I don't trust her. I reckon it's some more of those videos with the cake and stuff. God knows what's going on there. So yeah, hi guys. We've got Charlotte and Lynn and Anthony are here.
Hello, guys.
English, please, anyone? Yeah, hi, good afternoon and welcome. So quick one just to get into, look at that man, transition, love that. Some of the updates that we've got. Obviously we did our health eating on a budget this morning.
Yep.
From 10 till 12, which despite a couple of technical issues went quite well. It was we no see him, and that's Dan Machiavelli or whatever. He's the one without any hair, in case anyone was confused. I'm saying Mel made some vegetable rice while I pointed a camera at it this morning. And she also made chocolate brownies. So
sounds so good. I saw a little bit of the brownie making. It looked so good.
It's very good. It smells very nice. Unfortunately, she made a batch yesterday, but I didn't get a taste on because Dan took them out and didn't cover them up. And apparently they went rock solid. So he sabotaged us. I didn't get a brownie. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see.
Hopefully, right?
Yeah, so
we've got Sue's just kind of popped in there, and she said that the scran was gorge.
So Sue got a meal dropped off today. And if anyone's interested in having that meal dropped off, you're best off getting in touch with Mel, because I don't know, I'm not organising that one at all. So
there you go.
Get in touch with us on Facebook, email, Twitter, or directly with Mel to our email if you've got it. If you haven't, it's just mel@mediasavvycic.co.uk. I know, Sue, I definitely did miss a treat, I know, but like I say, I'm hopeful. I think there was some spares left over from today, so we'll see. So Daniel, you have the sort of schedule for the rest of the week, don't you?
What's going on? Yeah, I do. I can run that by everybody now. Okay, guys. So what we've got going on for the rest of the week, we have a virtual wellbeing session tomorrow with Mel. We have that from 1 o'clock until 3 o'clock. I'm not sure if you joined us for that last time, but it's been really cool. Been discussing a wide range of stuff, relating to health and well-being. It's been pretty good stuff. You've done some of those as well here from right?
Yeah, so it's been I sort of joined in with a couple of them and drew me picture of the heart and did the little quiz and stuff. So it was kind of, I didn't get any answers right, but.
I think Mel's streams are always really fun because she's always had integrate some games which are always really kind of fun and enjoyable to do. So stay tuned for that if you guys you're interested in doing some fun games and learning at the same time. It's really good. And then after that we have on Friday we have Family E-Safety, and that is with Ella and Haytham, and that will be from 10 to 12, and that's on Friday, guys. So if obviously it's really good because at the moment everybody's on lockdown, so I think e-safety is probably more important than ever, so I think that's probably a really good one to stay tuned for. To kind of see how you can stay safe on computers and online as well. So, and then we also have on the Friday from 4 till 5 we have Staying Connected episode 12, and we will have a special guest for that, and I think I will be doing that myself with a special guest, and we should be giving you some very interesting information there, guys. So definitely stay tuned for that as well.
So just to reiterate with that one, so we will be looking to have a guest on who's one of our current or former learners, on a Monday, and then on a Friday we'll be looking to have a guest from another organisation on as well. If you guys have been watching the last couple of Fridays, we've had Anth from St Benedict's, and we had Fraser Wilson from Northumbria Police Community Engagement Team. So we'll have another special guest on Friday if you keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, that's the one, guys. So we've got a special guest this Friday, and then, as Haytham said, the pattern that we've gone for with the Staying Connected is Wednesday session is me and Haytham kind of, discuss everything. It's like the central hub. Monday it's a learner, and then on Friday it's an organisation. So
yeah, and if anyone hasn't caught any of the Monday ones as well, we've had some good ones. So I had Anthony on, and we've had Wib on as well. So go back and check those out.
Yeah,
it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I've been editing a video related with the one that Wib was on today, and it's awesome. Like Wib was such an amazing guest, so I would definitely watch that one.
Yeah, cool. So that's about the updates from Media Savvy. Oh no, sorry, it's not. I'm lying. I'm completely lying. We've started a little fundraiser at quite short notice. So me and Dan have done a 2.6 kilometre challenge on the rowing and skiing machine that we have in the building, and this is in aid of the Spinal Injuries Association, who are taking part in the 2.6 challenge, which is to replace it's a fundraising effort to replace some of the money lost from the London Marathon being cancelled. So obviously a bunch of charities had sponsorship and stuff tied up in the London Marathon, which now can't go ahead. So me and Dan have done our 2.6k row and ski, completing a 1300 meter, 1300 kilometer. I can't spell. That was supposed to say 1.3. That's just to bear that in mind. That's wrong. I'll have to update that. It's 1.3. So 1.3k on each machine as fast as possible.
How did you find that then, mate?
It was absolutely awful. There's a picture of Dan on the post that we put out on Facebook that he took just after we finished, and it sounds easy, 1.3k on both of them, but I honestly about halfway through, like the sweat was just completely, I was completely drenched. And like I say, go and check out Dan's. I'll try and find it. It's just a picture. He's just holding his hand up like that, and he looks absolutely drained. Like, so yeah, if anyone could share that like that or donate if possible, that would be great. We've targeted £100. But there's a bunch of information on there, and there's also the Spinal Injuries Association. It's not easy to say. It's their sort of visions on there as well. So obviously they help people affected with spinal cord injuries, as well as they do a lot of outreach in the community and engage in a lot of community activities similar to what we do as well. So it is a really worthy cause. And I'm sorry, I've just got something on my camera, so I'm just gonna. Oh, there we go. So cool. Check that one out. I'll post that. I'll make sure that's in the link in the description at some point.
And Anthony's been up to 22 hours since the start of the lockdown on the rowing machine. I'd love to do 26, but I picked up an injury. So good job.
I seen you posting on Facebook, Anthony. So yeah, keep that up, mate, as best you can. But obviously, don't injure yourself because that's not ideal.
Yeah.
So.
Good job on that, though, bud.
I guess we'll get into the good news if I can change my screen there.
Let's get
I hadn't shown you the webpage, but that is the webpage for the 2.6k kilometer challenge, and there is a little error in there which I'll have to amend. But yeah, I'll put the link in there anyway for that. Even if you can just share it, that would be great. We've put the post on Facebook, so even if you can just share it on there. It's also on Twitter. Yeah, much appreciated, guys. Cheers for that one. So the first one I picked for the good news was one of the things that, if you remember, when we had Matthew on the other Monday as well, who was another great guest that we had on.
He was fantastic.
He sort of brought to our attention the positive.news website.
Yep.
And they do a sort of weekly recap of each sort of week in lockdown. So what went right? Good coronavirus news from the 5th week of lockdown. So obviously that was last week.
Let's have a look, buddy. Yeah.
So there are signs that the epidemic has peaked in the UK, but that wasn't the only good news about this from that week. So obviously Health Secretary Matt Hancock, who said on Thursday he believed the UK had reached a peak. And that was sort of comments made by Chris Whitty as well as Nicola Sturgeon, who was expressing optimism in terms of the number of deaths. So hopefully the stats are pointing towards that.
So fingers crossed there, you know.
Also, just reiterating there that obviously a relaxation of the lockdown was not imminent. But I'm sure if you keep yourself posted to the daily briefings, you'll find out some more information. Yeah. We've got the crowdfunder launched to get positive news to NHS staff. So the Positive News team is raising funds via a crowdfunding campaign to distribute thousands of complimentary copies of a magazine to NHS staff. Basically, I think it's just so that they can sort of raise the spirits while they're in work. So we're asking for our readers and the public to support raising funds to get complimentary copies of Positive News magazine to any NHS staff who request them. I think... let me double check. I wonder if this is a link to their crowdfund. They're about halfway. Well, they're over halfway there now. So I imagine that they'll tick up to that hopefully as soon as they can.
Great, yeah.
I think it'd be good to have a bit of a morale boost just in and around the hospitals and stuff. Because I don't imagine it's a very nice place to work at the moment.
No, and I mean, yeah, you guys, Fraser talked about it, right? Where you were saying that some of them aren't even able to go back to their families.
Yeah.
So I think that's like one of the key things there that it's difficult enough as it is, but then after you've done a really hard shift and you're not able to go back to your family, I mean that is really tough. So.
Yeah, definitely. So any good news will be well received, I'd imagine. So I sort of talked about this one about the team of researchers at Oxford University. So they'd started the human trials with the new vaccine that they were developing.
Yes.
When the last time I checked, it had only started on 2 people. So that the first 2 people, obviously one was having a control. So one was being injected with I think it was a meningitis vaccine. And the other one was a meningitis treatment. I can't remember which. But the other one was the actual new vaccine for coronavirus. So
brilliant, yeah.
And I think they're going to up that, and it's roughly 1,100. I think it said we're going to be tested in total. So they've been given a bunch of money to basically crack on with that. So fingers crossed on that front.
Yeah.
They were saying best case scenario autumn 2020 would be a realistic time to start trialing it properly, I think, and distributing it.
So that's really positive.
But yeah, I mean, it's a step in the right direction because some places were quoting like 18 months minimum. So I think, it seems like we're at least making progress. So a step in the right direction.
100%, yeah.
So yeah, just try and keep your news sources as what should I say, reliable as possible when it comes to things like vaccines and treatments. But we'll get onto that a little bit later, I guess. We've got some stuff lined up for that. Just have a think about what you're doing before you administer any home treatments. Let's just say that for now. True that. This one again, I haven't done an update to this one, but it was just the headline really. So the coronavirus, New Zealand claims no community cases as lockdown eases. So New Zealand says it stopped community transmission of COVID-19, effectively eliminating the virus. They did acknowledge is that doesn't mean it's gone. It's just now they can be under control with the track and trace. So they're going to be doing a lot more testing, which is good. Sorry, go on, man.
Definitely. Yeah, so just, as we're saying as well, New Zealand were one of the countries that really put the social distancing measures in and the lockdown measures in really early. They announced a lockdown quite early, and they never really got up to like particularly big numbers, but it seemed to be very effective for them. And then since then, they've been able to kind of ease it slightly. And as you're saying here, they've got no kind of new... What's the exact terminology they use? No new community cases.
So it's community transmission, apparently quite low.
Yeah.
So they were just saying, does give us confidence that they've achieved the goal of elimination, but he warned that elimination did not mean there'll be no new cases, but obviously it means they can track them where they're coming from, and appropriately lock down, different areas, and if it's different sectors or whatever it is. no widespread undetected community transmission in New Zealand is what their aim was. So obviously they've caught up with testing and
brilliant.
Like you say, sort of a payoff of the lockdown that they've been under for quite a while now. So hopefully that gives us a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, that the lockdown is doing its job and being effective.
Yeah, exactly, man. And I think we're starting to see that with countries like New Zealand. That it's starting to be effective, you know.
Next one was another sort of, well, a quite a spectacular one, really. So COVID-19 victim who gave birth whilst on a ventilator beats the virus as well. So
whoa.
A mother gave birth while battling COVID-19 on a ventilator, and she's now beating the virus. So she had an emergency C-section to deliver her son at 29 weeks and 6 days. She battled the deadly virus on a near last resort ventilating machine, which is obviously one of the, it's the ones that replaces the heart and lungs, like functionality sort of thing. So managed to undergo the C-section, which is already a pretty like traumatic experience as it is, but never mind being on a ventilator.
Whilst being on a ventilator, yeah, she is a tough cookie, because I can't even imagine how it's difficult enough to give birth, right?
Well,
and then to have
I'm told.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I wouldn't know for experience, but what I've been told, yeah. But they give birth whilst on a ventilator. That's something else. So yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, and another thing, the flip side of it was, well, she wasn't able to see any of her family because obviously she was infected with the virus, so it made it like 10 times harder for her. She was on her own.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, so she was sedated after that as well. Oh, before that, sorry, as well. What pregnancy 30 weeks? Yeah, so apparently her lung collapsed at some point, which is why, because she wasn't the one going to put her on a ventilator. And they
oh my god,
they rang her husband 20 minutes later after making that decision to say that her lung had collapsed. So they had to deliver the baby like ASAP. Put her on the ventilator, and as far as I know, so the baby was taken to like a neonatal intensive care unit, but hasn't shown any signs of the virus, which is sort of tracks with what we've been hearing as well. But yeah, I mean, to be in that position where you're already your body's already under that kind of stress, to manage to come out of that completely unscathed, it's madness. But fair play.
Yeah.
Like I say, we keep seeing these miracle stories, so it is possible. It's not all doom and gloom. It's not a complete death sentence, thankfully. So yeah, that was really cool. I don't know where this one was though.
Mention the place.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to look for where it was. I think it might have been in America, this one.
Oh, it says picture UC Health Fox 19. So that's obviously in America. Yeah. Oh, it's in Ohio, mate.
Okay, yeah. So
it is in America.
So I think they might even have they've got a massive shortage of ventilators at the minute.
America,
so they've done well, the doctors, to do.
Definitely, bud.
To manage that, so that was good. Last one was from that link that I told you guys about, I think last week. So it was like bbc.co.uk for Uplifting News, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was just one I seen on there sort of flash up saying coronavirus. So Milton Keynes rallies to pamper NHS staff.
Brilliant.
So Hazel Scanlon received enough goods to fill more than 200 pamper bags. The handmade bags will be delivered to doctors and nurses at the Milton Keynes and Luton and Dunstable hospitals in the coming days. So it's like a little thank you from the sort of local community. So Mrs. Scanlon here is a cleaning firm director, and she sort of headed it up. She was inspired after one of our customers described, right? So yeah, so she'd heard a story from one of our customers about one of the intensive care nurses whose routine was, worked in a bath bed, repeat sort of thing. So what they've done is sort of band together and appeal for items such as this. So there's a picture there. Bundled them up and then obviously distributed them out to the all the NHS staff, which is really cool. Again, it's like it's quite a small gesture, really. As you can see, it's just like a little sort of pack there.
Definitely. I mean, it's just to kind of to be acknowledged as well for to be recognized for the kind of effort that they're doing.
Yeah.
I think that's great. So definitely. And like you say, it's a small gesture, but it's sometimes it's the little things that add up, right? So definitely, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's seen like a few different companies doing things like this as well.
Yeah.
So I think I didn't have it as a link that I've sent you, but Nissan have a scheme at the minute where they are letting people borrow a Nissan car during the crisis if you obviously meet certain parameters.
Yeah, you have to have a driving license.
Yeah, you have to be able to drive. I imagine. I can't. I mean, maybe they've got self-driving cars. I don't know. I haven't really checked.
Who knows, right?
There's already been a fantastic response. Everything the scheme could help. So you can basically inquire on there. But there's been a few like that where I know a few people's cars and stuff had been like vandalised because people had seen them leaving the houses over and over again and assumed they were going somewhere they shouldn't. When in reality, it was just because they were a key worker and they couldn't not. So I think we're seeing a lot more of this from, like I say, people just doing like a sort of voluntary appeal that they've done themselves.
Yeah.
Or more people, like larger companies, getting involved as well, which is cool. So it's good to see. So if you see anything like that as well, guys, feel free to share it and get it sent in.
Sure.
So that was the last what I'd got as quote unquote feel good news. I've also got some tech news. So I've seen this one. It's not coronavirus related at all, actually, but I've tried my best to include some stuff that isn't.
True. Yeah, fair. I mean, I think that's a good idea, dude, because obviously, although we want to kind of keep stuff positive and upbeat and keep spreading the good news, it's good that we talk about other stuff as well. So
there's actually a world that exists outside of it. Apparently, I'm told.
I know, exactly, buddy.
So BCI system gives paralysed man back his sense of touch with haptic feedback. This guy, Ian Burkhart, now 28, had a diving accident, not a driving accident. I'm assuming he knew how to drive, but anyway, he severely damaged his spinal cord, which left him paralysed and confined to a wheelchair with very limited movement in his elbow and shoulders. What they've done is they've implanted a brain-computer interface, or a BCI, developed by this company Battelle. And he's made such significant progress over the last 6 years. He's actually able to play things like Guitar Hero again, which is the sort of rhythm game. If anyone doesn't know, so you get like a guitar-shaped controller. I'm sure Anthony knows all about it. You get a guitar-shaped controller with buttons on that you play instead of the notes, which obviously for someone who's got very limited motion in the hand is a massive sort of leap forward. So they've also managed to restore his sense of touch. Wow. And if I scroll down, because it's somewhere on here. Yeah, so there's a neuro bypass system, they've called it. It's 3 primary components. Surgically implant a chip, which obviously goes in the brain, and that responds to thoughts and movement. So when he thinks about moving it, that responds to that, and then it maps that brainwave down into the part that he wants to move, basically. And obviously that technology's coming on and on and on, and in that 6 years they've gone from him being able to make basic movements to actually complex movements with his hands and stuff as well, getting things like his grip back and stuff.
It's saying that the lack of sensation also means that Burkhart isn't getting crucial sensory feedback, so he doesn't feel like he owns his own hand. It's the reverse of the popular rubber hand illusion, which is sensory feedback from both the real and rubber hands essentially couples. So that the brain perceives it as part of the body. But he has a lack of feedback, so it says that doesn't occur. So that sounds so weird to kind of feel like you've got this kind of hand that's not yours in a way. I don't know if you've heard about soldiers who've lost limbs before, and they get a thing called like phantom limb. So they'll get an itch if they might say, for example, they don't have their left leg, but they'll get an itch in their left leg, but it's like not there. So it's like,
well, there's that trick, isn't there, that they do? You said it's a rubber hand trick, but they do it with a brush, don't they? And they'll brush your hand, and then you take your hand away, and there's the rubber hand there, and they'll brush the rubber hand, and you can feel it. It's that sort of principle, I think. So that's really cool. They're getting really close to being able to not quite cure it, but they can treat some of the side effects of a serious spinal cord injury in terms of re-stimulating those nerves and connecting it back to your brain so that you can be in control of it as well, which I thought was really cool.
I mean, this is an absolutely amazing leap in, kind of technology in a way, right? And kind of integrating kind of the human body with technology.
But to give it the sensation of touch as well, I think is quite an amazing thing. So it's the feedback from whatever is being controlled that then sends a signal back to say, okay, well, I can feel that on my hand, even though without that computer chip you wouldn't be able to do it.
Which is completely
it's obviously amazing. Moving it's one thing, but having that sensation of something pressing against you again is like a completely different kettle of fish.
I know,
but that was really cool, and like a really good story.
It's amazingly cool, but
I imagine one to keep an eye on. So obviously this was on the 24th of this month, and I imagine as the years or the months go on, there'll be some kind of update to that, I hope.
Definitely.
So the next one, it's not really feel good news, it's just news. So I don't know if in the absolute sort of hellscape that seems to be this year when everything just keeps seeming to go wrong, you probably missed this one, because I sort of clicked onto Facebook last night and I seen it.
Okay.
And I was like, this cannot be real. And then I had a look around and it was genuinely real. Now, this might be a time where you think the tinfoil hats are going to come out.
It's time to get the tinfoil hats out, yeah.
So bear with us for a second. The Pentagon in America has released UFO videos for the record. So the US Department of Defense has released 3 declassified videos of unexplained aerial phenomena. The Pentagon said it wanted to clear up any misconceptions by the public on whether or not the footage has been circulating was real. So these videos were leaked like all the way back in 2007. So why they've chosen to leak them, declassify them now, I don't know.
Bro, have you got this part right? This part for me is my favorite. 2 were published by the New York Times, while the third was leaked by an organization co-founded by former Blink-182 singer Tom DeLonge.
Yeah.
So Tom DeLonge was one of the people who leaked the video, which is so crazy. But if you know anything about what Tom DeLonge gets up to, he's really invested into this. This UFO stuff. So
he's got his organization called
Academy of the Stars or something.
Oh god,
something like that, right?
Yeah, he's gone off the deep end a little bit, but he did leak one of these videos that then the Pentagon's put out. So
that's mad.
There it is. But I couldn't believe it. Like when you click on Facebook sometimes and you see one of those dodgy links, and I was just like, yeah, okay. So I clicked on it out of morbid curiosity. I think it was on Lad Bible or something, and then it linked us to this actual the proper article on the website, and I was like, oh, okay then.
Yeah, I mean, people who are into kind of aliens or UFOs, this must be amazing for them. This must be blowing their mind, right? To be able to see this.
Yeah. So Matthew was just saying, great to see that there's still plenty of work being done to help people even with the pandemic happening. And then he said, "Oh, this is crazy," which I assume he meant about the aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
Lynn, well, anything to take attention off Mr. Domestos. Well, yeah, I know.
Interesting point, Lynn.
What's the is it the guy? Is it Mr. Clean? It's Mr. Clean, isn't it?
Mr. Clean.
The guy in the white T-shirt. Hang on.
What about Barry Scott, man? Barry
Scott. God, no. So you'll not be able to see this on the stream straight away, but just for reference.
Anthony said "Aliens Exist," which is it's a popular Blink song as well.
Right, okay. I see. I didn't get that one. That one went over my head. Yeah. But just to let you know, that's what Mr. Clean looks like. I don't know if he's an alien or not. He could be. But anyway, so aliens. So according to the New York Times, a clip from 2004 was filmed by 2 Navy fighter pilots. Shows a round object hovering above the water about 100 miles. Out into the Pacific Ocean, or the Specific Ocean, depending on how you want to say that. 2 other videos filmed in 2015 shows the object moving through the air, one of which is spinning. And the pilot has heard us saying, I quote, "Look at that thing, dude, it's rotating." So there you go.
No, wait, where's that? That's amazing.
That's what's in the videos. So that's apparently what the pilot said. To be fair, I've listened to a Joe Rogan podcast, and I can't remember which one it is. where there's a guy on, a Navy pilot who claims to have seen one of these. So I think that even might be him.
Yeah. I watched it. Yeah, I've watched that one.
But depending on how deep down the rabbit hole you want to go, you might want to check out a guy called Bob Lazar who claims he worked on an alien engine.
I watched that Rogan podcast as well.
No, there's a documentary on Netflix as well.
Oh, there's a documentary as well.
Yeah, it's like a feature-length documentary. I couldn't be bothered to watch it, to be honest. I wasn't in the right frame of mind.
It's pretty heavy going stuff like that, right? But it's quite interesting though.
Yeah, so Dan's just pointing out, yes, it's the Pacific Ocean. I know. That's just a joke, guys. So yeah, aliens exist. It's a Blink song. Matthew, aliens probably exist. I mean, based on this spinning orb in the sky, I couldn't rule it out. And
so one little thing is, if you think that what we have is like the observable universe, and if you think like the common theory with most scientists is that it's a multiverse, so we're a universe in a pocket of other universes, and apparently the universe is infinite, right? So if the universe is infinite, then it's there has to be other life somewhere. Maybe it's not in our universe, but it has to exist somewhere. Some in another universe. If the multiverse is what you believe. So.
Aye, there you go. That's your thought for today. The outer space and aliens and stuff. In before copyright strike from Area 51. To be honest with you, Matthew, I'm just expecting like loads of dudes in suits to just kick the door down, like sunglasses and suits on, and then just like the little flash, the memory wiper flash, and we'll all forget this whole thing ever happened. Like Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones are about to boot the door down, I think. We'll see. You never know. Yeah. I haven't heard anything from Dan or Leon, so I'm assuming they've been kidnapped by the CIA. That's just my assumption. I'm not hearing anything to tell us otherwise either. So yeah, we might be running on limited time here. Anyway, so yeah, aliens might exist, but I didn't really understand what they put it out to clear up any misconceptions to whether it was real or not. But then, like, what do we do with that? So you've given us. All they've done, right, is light a fire under every single UFO conspiracy channel in the world. Because I can imagine the state of the YouTube thumbnails right now.
I know.
It's just going to be UFOs and like the Pentagon and like Trump and Mr. Clean and oh god.
Yeah, I feel like it's just because they've been leaked and they haven't commented on it. So that, like the people like Tom DeLonge's company or whatever have been like, well, see, this is from them, but they're not willing to attach the name to it. So then if they just say, oh yeah, listen, we did find this stuff, then it kind of makes them think, oh, it's not like they're trying to like cover it up or something like that. What I mean?
And then all the memes that'll get revived on the back of this are great. So there's the classic. So it'll be this guy with the big bushy hair. Anyway, moving on. Aliens. Yeah, we've done it. We'll leave.
I know exactly.
The History Channel guy. On a slightly different note, so we might be getting invaded by aliens, and that apocalypse might be coming. You never know. We've also got Skynet, but not quite. So you might have seen these on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, but there is the robot takeout future. They've been dubbed by Ars Technica. UK grocery delivery. So basically, there they are, the little fleet of robots, and what they are is delivery robots. So they could be aliens, but I don't think they are. I think they're definitely just robots. So this guy's obviously telling a little story about how he lives in Washington DC, so it's obviously not in the UK, this one. But he was walking down past the Starbucks. Obviously the campus was empty where he works, but then he bumped into one of these little robots and he sort of jumped in front of it and tried to stop it and block it from moving and stuff, just to see what it would do, basically, how it would react to like a pedestrian getting in its way. But it sort of just coped with it quite well, just sort of like backed up and sort of scooted around him and then went off it went again. So yeah, awesome. Small sidewalk robots like this seem to be slowly gaining traction in the bigger cities in America. Quite light, slow moving, very unlikely to hurt anyone, and it's obviously a lot more companies are using it for like a contactless delivery, which the pandemic's made their business. I think they say somewhere in here, business doubled overnight, because obviously a lot more customers are wanting contactless delivery and it's a viable solution to do it.
Anthony said, "I hope they don't get Ray's job." So,
well, yeah, there's that. I mean, that's the worry. I think the worry one is that they're going to sort of rise up and kill us all. That's my worry anyway. I've seen enough movies for that to happen.
Yeah, not to take like a huge deep dive on this, but it is actually an interesting point. The automation because a lot of like I'm not going to go into this too much, but like a lot of so like
that was the can of worms. That was the can of worms.
But a lot of like politicians, when they have like the manifesto or whatever, it's always really good stuff. But there's not that many people that are focusing on the future with automation, because it is very, very plausible that in the next 20 to 30 years, automation is going to take over a huge amount of jobs on the labor market. So people like long distance lorry drivers and things like that. You've got self-driving cars. So these kind of jobs could start to fade more and more. You've got however many self-service checkouts, and these kind of jobs that they're going to kind of take over in the labor market, because they're going to become cheaper and more efficient. So it is actually an interesting thing is how will we cope with automation in the future.
It sort of mentions it here. So obviously generally these bots are light and slow moving enough, wouldn't hurt anyone. That's allowed these guys to get a bit of a jump, because obviously things like self-driving lorries and self-driving cars, they're a lot bigger and have a lot more safety concerns, but these are a lot smaller and have a lot less of an impact on things like traffic and safety. So these guys have managed to sort of get in there quite quick in terms of like being able to be used in the mainstream public, like commercial use. But what they're saying in here as well is that obviously these would be, at the moment and even going forward, they're going to be a lot more focused on quite local deliveries, so more rural areas, a couple of miles outside the city centre, for example, where you can't really reach by any other means in a car. You still will need human drivers.
Definitely.
So I think it's like at the minute it's just a sort of roll out to see, can we do the more local deliveries a bit more efficiently, rather than someone and then the deliveries further away are human made.
And I mean, in a pandemic, it's very useful, something like that. And it reminded me of two similar things also. And one of those was in China, in Hangzhou. There's like in a city called Hangzhou. They have robot hotel staff. You can look at this as Hangzhou's robot hotel staff, and they've got like they come by and they like drop off like towels and stuff like that, and it's just like a little robot, like
Wall-E from the movie
kind of
Wall-E.
like that. Yeah, and I think you can order room service from it and stuff like that. So
it's cool. There's a little video here. I'm not going to play the sound, because I don't want to get content tagged again. But basically, it's showing you sort of the inside of the. It's a machine learning based thing, and this term machine learning is the one that really scares us, because it can learn what to do and how to go on and stuff, and what does it learn and what does it take away from it.
It's interesting, man. And I mean,
but it's a cool little robot. I mean,
Matthew put a really funny joke there in the chat. He said, "I need your boots, your
clothes, and your Big Mac to go."
Nice. I think Terminator line.
So Charlotte was saying, if you want to watch like Alien, a TV show called Ancient Aliens, very interesting. Some of the theories that they come up with. I assume that's a conspiracy theory one, Charlotte. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's It's like that guy you brought up. I think he's an Ancient Aliens guy, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was on the History Channel.
So, dude, just to go off what you said, the machine learning thing is always something that really scares me. It's the fact that because then we started getting into the whole AI topic, right? Which is like a total different thing. And obviously, for like a quick one of those, you've got like the Chinese game Go, and chess is even a better example. So chess, we've kind of conceded that a human will never be as good as a computer at chess now. We've got to the point where a computer is always going to be the best at chess, or at least at this game Go. So how long is it before that starts to become the trend book for other things?
It's the decision making and what decisions you give a machine and what impact it could have.
Because you can't.
Sorry, Sue is just saying she's missing her weekly McDonald's breakfast. I know. Tell me about it.
You know what it is.
I don't want to speak. We shouldn't mention the M word. It's too raw.
So Sue, I am. Do you know what it is? Do you want I'll tell you a little secret, right? Like,
Oh no.
today I bought some like folded flatbread, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook some bacon. I'm going to put it in the folded flatbread. I'm going to put some cheese on the top, and I'm going to make my own like like the McDonald's wraps that you get.
Yeah.
I'm going to make my own one of those. So that's a little tip for you. But get creative.
I think in some of the freezer shops you can buy like the sausage burgers as well, like so what you'd get in a sausage and egg McMuffin, I believe, and obviously you can buy an English muffin. It's not quite the same, but it's close.
Yeah.
Matthew's saying it's the bushy hair guy from that show, the ancient aliens one, I've only seen that one bit where he's sort of holding his hands up. I've never actually seen the full show, but I might check it out.
He was on Joe Rogan, dude. Like he. So Sue as well. They are actually opening up some KFCs and Burger Kings in the UK. So
Greg's as well soon.
Yeah, so they're opening. Yeah, so Greg's as well. So these next few weeks, look out because some of your favorite fast food and takeout places might start to be opening again.
Finally, some good news. It's about time. So just a quick one on this. I don't know if there's any. I'm going to quickly Google it. Actually, I'm pretty sure in the UK there was a trial, and I think it was in Milton Keynes again. Actually, oh god, there's a video. Oh, it's BuzzFeed. I didn't click on it. Cause there'll be like 400 adverts and 6,000 autoplay videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Milton Keynes. So they had it's the same. It's Starship. It's the same company. So they've already done a sort of trial in the UK. So again, it's one of them things where I don't know if it's going to take off, but it's something they've tried. You'll see it a lot. Like companies will come up with an idea, they'll do like a beta test, and then you'll never see it again. So it might take off, it might not. The current pandemic might just be the perfect catalyst for this to be a thing.
Well, bro, have you seen the Amazon drones? That they have, like in the US and stuff.
Again, it's good for like rural areas. Because obviously, if you live miles out the way, it might be an efficient way. But at the moment, it's not. It's more of a gimmick for them and like an advertising thing.
Yeah.
Because could you imagine if there was a whole fleet of Amazon drones, and then how long before the police are just like, how long before the police are just like, actually nowadays I'm just gonna strap a big speed. Actually, did you see that one? It was a mayor in Italy, wasn't it? Where he had the intercom on the drone and he was just shouting at people to go home, saying what you're doing and that. I can't play it because I swear on it, I think. But they were using that to sort of like police the lockdown. So
it gets a little bit 1984, doesn't it, when it starts to be like there's like drones in the sky and stuff like that.
At first it's funny when it's like these little robots just sort of like tooting around the town and that, and then before you know it, like I say, there's like a sentry gun sort of like clearing around the streets and that, and then all Schwarzenegger like kicks a door in and he shoots it with a shotgun and it heals itself out of like molten metal, and I'm just like, you know what, no thanks.
Definitely.
So I think that that we'll go steady with them ones. I think, but I thought it was cool. That there's a way of doing a completely like zero human to human contact delivery.
For sure, man.
And it's supposed to be quite good. A couple of the reviews said it was really good and fast, and obviously you get to see like a little robot sort of wheeling itself around the town, which is cool.
I think that you mentioned as well. But like places like a college campus or something, it would be kind of ideal because it doesn't have to go around that much, and it can kind of just go from dorm to dorm, or something like that.
Somewhere where like it's difficult for a human to do that delivery job. That's probably ideal to make it a bit easy. So you don't have to replace someone's job. And to be honest with you, these aren't suited to long distance travel anyway. So hopefully they won't. That's the hope anyway. That was all the stupid tech news I could find, but we've talked about robots taking over the world and aliens invading, as well as brain implants, so I feel like I've covered quite a range of topics today. We've had all the sci-fi all the time.
We have, man. It's been good.
So Matthew was just saying BuzzFeed will be wanting you to do the break up with your significant other and we'll find which Brooklyn Nine-Nine character you are. Jake Peralta, by the way, in case anyone's interested. Definitely.
He's definitely my favorite character.
So who else we got? Hardly go to McDonald's since I went veggie, but I do miss their breakfast. Yeah, it is. It's one of the better things is going there for breakfast. Like they extended it as well before the lockdown, didn't they? So it was like 11:30 or something. The stuff serving.
I'm gonna get food immediately after this. By the way, all this talk has made me so hungry.
I could absolutely burn out McDonald's. Like, Charlotte, yeah, they're open McDonald's again for a short period of time in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for the tip, lads. Here I come, Burger King, from Sue as well.
Class.
Cool. So I think we'll get into our idiot of the week, which is hopefully not too controversial for everyone. But it's been a week. Let's just say that it's definitely been a week.
Yeah.
So first up on that, I'm just gonna get straight in. No preamble whatsoever.
Let's do it.
Oh, hang on. I'm getting a pop-up adverts on that. So, 3 men drink disinfectant after Donald Trump says it could cure coronavirus. So the director of the Georgia Poison Center said 2 men misguidedly drank cleaning products over the weekend. As a state health officer in Kansas reported a similar case.
Man.
So
it's like...
Sorry, go on, I'll just read this strapline here. So 3 men have drank liquid cleaning products after Donald Trump sarcastically, that's in block quotes, quotation marks, questioned whether it could be a treatment for coronavirus. So yeah, I mean, I don't think we have to explain that one anymore. You really, really shouldn't be drinking cleaning products. That bleach, Dettol, Lysol, whatever it is. Go on, Daniel.
No, that's just it, man. It's just like, I mean, like, but like, I just think if they watched that one thing, then they didn't see all of the backlash. Like after, like, it's so crazy because it literally, as soon as it happened, everyone was like, what? So, and they've just choose to ignore all that. Like, bleach companies came out and were like, no.
Yeah, I'm just showing the website now. So they've obviously they're saying there. Does Dettol kill? And then there's a whole thing about not drinking it, and improper use of disinfectants. So all the bleach companies and cleaning product companies put out an official statement, and I'd like to just reiterate that is don't drink bleach, don't inject bleach, or any other cleaning product. Just not for human consumption. To be honest,
it's baffling that they actually have to do this. Like Dettol actually has to say it. Like you know you can't do it.
So idiots of the week number 1 is the disinfectant drinkers for that one.
Yeah.
Number 2, I haven't seen this one, so you're gonna have to explain this one for everyone, Daniel.
Okay.
I'm without this one.
All right, let's do it, man.
If the link will ever load. So this is Christopher Reeve's son.
Oh my god! So yeah, this one is so funny because Christopher Reeve's son basically went live on air, just doing like an interview with a news broadcaster, and basically he did the classic, I'm just gonna do the interview with my suit on, but in my pants as well, like the classic. But he didn't realize that the shot was so wide you could actually see his pants, so he's just like in his suit, but like you can see that he's in his pants as well, and he's like talking to them.
Nice.
So
okay, I'm gonna see if I can play the video. Sometimes it lags a whole bunch.
Ground carriers, so people won't be getting their medication dropped out of the sky into their mailbox just yet, but the companies do say they will scale up the program if it is successful, guys.
Oh no. Oh dear. So yeah, there's his bare legs there. I wonder, do they comment on it?
Very cool. We love it, Will. Thank you.
Oh, they didn't. Oh, they just let it go. Oh, that's so disappointing.
But like, it makes it so much worse that they didn't comment on it.
Just like, moving on.
If they just said like, listen, like, we can see that you're in your pants.
Yeah. Just by the way, mate, you might just want to get the camera and just tilt it up a little bit.
Classic.
Very reportable. The very relatable working from home decision to take the video call dressed only from the waist up. Oh man, that's one way to just turn yourself into a meme forever. Like, what a guy.
Definitely. I know.
Look at his face as well. He has no idea. Oh dear.
Oh man. So good.
Dear.
Absolute classic.
Yeah, so that one's a little bit more lighthearted, I suppose. Oh god. And then last but not least, I think someone put in the chat about it should be Donald Trump. Well, have no fear. The Trump train is here.
Trump train 2020.
So Trump said he takes no responsibility for any spike in people using disinfectants improperly. Now, I was talking to one of my mates who lives in America, who said that the mainstream coverage on some of the sites, not this one that we've got CNN, but was saying that they were basically making out like he never said it, and that it was just a sarcastic comment. So I did a little bit more digging into it, and I've got the video clip of what he actually says.
Thing like that.
Yes.
By injection inside. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside, or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So
so he says inside, he says an injection, he says on the lungs like a cleaning. And then a day later, I believe this is the right video.
Hello.
Oh, hang on, this took us to a video of the Philippines, that one. I don't know why he's done that.
I'm going to have to grab my charger, mate, so I'll be 1.8 seconds. I'm just going
to quickly skip this
shift away.
So yeah, he said that about the injection, and then basically a day later he said that he was being sarcastic and he never said it, and he was talking about rubbing it on his hands. But I'll play the clip for you just in case you're in any doubt. But my mate in America was saying that they've spun this beyond belief in America to make it look like he never said it at all, when you can quite clearly see from both the clips he definitely did.
Sarcastically to reporters like you, just to see what would happen. Now, disinfectant for doing this, maybe on the hands, would work. And I was asking the question of the gentleman who was there yesterday, Bill, because when they say that something will last 3 or 4 hours.
Okay, buddy, I'm back.
But if the sun is out, or if they use disinfectant, it goes away in less than a minute.
Okay.
I heard about this yesterday. But I was asking a sarcastic and a very sarcastic question.
So he then claimed he was being sarcastic and only talking about it being on the hands as well. So yeah, that one is why Trump's included in that, and it wouldn't have been so bad had people not gone out and done it. But as you can evidence from the guys, at least three. And I'm saying at least 3. I'm sure there was more in New York. I'm sure there was like 19 or 20 cases in New York.
Yeah.
So they can be part of option 1 as well. Yeah. So if it wouldn't be so bad had he not have intimated at least, or hinted at that happening, being able to inject or ingest disinfectant to kill the virus, and people have gone out and done it. Which is why he's got an inclusion in Idiot of the Week this week. So yeah, unfortunately he's made the cut there with that one.
Well, I think wasn't it like, obviously don't want to spread misinformation, so I need to get my facts straight, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure he was like, at first he was like, I didn't say it, and then afterwards he's like, oh, I said it, but I said it sarcastically.
Yeah, so I've just played the clip there of him saying he said it sarcastically and he didn't mean an injection, he meant rubbing it on your hands. But I played the clip first where he clearly said an injection and get it on the lungs.
Injection into the body.
Yeah, well,
into the body.
So, I mean, yeah.
Or the light in the body.
I mean, to be fair, that is an existing treatment. But because I read an article about saying, ultraviolet light has been used to treat certain things.
Sure.
And that's fine, but no one's got any record of injecting disinfectant into your veins or lungs. So yeah.
I love that just how much like his I don't know what she is. It's like their version of a health minister, I guess.
Yeah.
And she's just sat there and she's just like, she's trying not to make him look like foolish, but at the same time, she's like trying to be as rational as possible.
She just says, well, it's good to have a fever because it fights the virus. So, all right, okay, cool. So yeah, Matthew's calling the Bleach Boys, which I guess would be a cool band name for them if they survive. Yeah. I don't know what I haven't had an update on their condition. I can't imagine it's great, but hopefully still alive. So yeah, there's the poll for that. Before we nick off, I will put the link to the survey in as well, guys. So if you can please fill that in. It should take you between 30 seconds and a minute. Comments and suggestions, what you're going to be up to next, anything you want to see, anything you want us to do stream wise, anything you want covered on Staying Connected. If you could please fill in that survey, that would be grand. I'm gonna drop a screen on at the end which we pulled together with some information regarding different support, like websites and numbers and stuff. So I'm gonna stick that on for the last 5 minutes of the stream. Feel free to pause the video if you need to jot some of that down. There will be a link to this in the description as well, with some clickable links on so you can get the websites, but there's also a few phone numbers on there of all the different stuff you can get involved with if you are things like struggling with your mental health. Every Mind Matters is on there, coronavirus mental wellbeing advice. So yeah, have a little browse through them. There's some local ones on there as well, so Sunderland Mind, Washington Mind, Northumberland Tyne, we are NHS Foundation Trust Crisis Team. Oh, that's the tough one to say, but it's on there.
You got it, man. You nailed it.
And Sue, we did get the leaflet as well, so we will be adding some of that information onto there about helping in the local area. So watch this space for that. We just haven't had time to pull it together yet. There's a video of Trump's team doing a hand-to-face moment, try to search it. I've seen a few where they're doing a sort of face palm and they're shaking their head. So let us know. You know, we might be wrong. You might think Trump's great. Let us know. So I've left that screen on there. I've just started to choke on my water, which is nice. So I'm gonna go and have some more water, and hopefully that sorts that out.
Guys, you guys have made me so starving with all the talk about McDonald's.
We're gonna go and get some scran, hopefully. Get sorted out, and we'll be back for the next. I think you're on tomorrow, aren't you, Daniel?
I'm on tomorrow, guys. 1 to 3 with Mel for virtual wellbeing. So please tune into that, guys, because we should have a lot of fun.
And if you can, remember to like the streams and subscribe to the channel as well, because what will happen then is you'll get an update when you open YouTube up. It'll tell you that we've got a live stream scheduled, and you can set reminders and stuff for when they're on. Obviously, continue to check us out on Facebook and Twitter and stuff, wherever you're getting the links from, and we'll keep you updated on there. If you could please fill in that survey, it's still there. That would be great as well. And other than that, take care, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thanks for dropping by, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Catch you later, guys.
Bye.